The Rolex Submariner is arguably the most recognizable watch of all time, transcending the category altogether to become a mainstream luxury icon. With 70 years of history, the question then becomes, does the modern Rolex Submariner live up to both its heritage and the incredible hype confronting the collection in 2023? We take a closer look at the 126610 LV, while in addition to that, talking about the broader modern sub collection in general. The Submariner has made a few subtle but important changes to its sizing. While it started out measuring at 37 millimeters wide when it was first introduced in 1953, the sub quickly made the jump to a then gigantic 40 millimeters in 1959, cementing a dimension set that would remain largely unchanged for decades to follow. The modern Rolex Oyster bracelet is almost as important to the world of watch design as the watch itself, inspiring countless brands in adopting a similar 3-link format that now almost feels like the de facto watch bracelet design. On top of looking the part, the modern Oyster is also frankly fantastic, offering solid end links, links that are screw adjusted, and the Oyster clasp that is frankly one of the best in the game, complete with the glide lock system that allows for a massive 2 centimeters of micro adjustment in 2 millimeter increments. And while the clasp is long at almost 46 millimeters, its length is put to work at offering exceptional range of adjustment. Now, bracelets historically are an area where Rolex was perhaps showing a chink in their armor, given the crown leaned into hollow end links and folded clasp for much longer than many other luxury brands and watchmakers in the segment, only making the change to solid milled bracelet components in the early 2000s. So like the rest of the design of the Submariner, the dial in the DNA from the original is still here, but the dial is another area where a feeling of modern flair have just made an indelible mark, with a number of touches that carry the watch farther from its storied diving roots. With a glossy black central surface, white gold surrounds for the indices, a heaping helping of dial text, and an engraved rehaut, the modern Submariner dial is no doubt a great example of a modern luxury sports watch. The classic Mercedes hands of old are there, the established geometric indices are there, the legibility is undoubtedly there, along with the printed crown at 12 and its other appearance at the bottom of the dial sitting between the Swiss-made text. Chromolite is indeed excellent, as despite its departure from the tool watch roots, elements of its utility such as this still remain. Now let's just be clear. Say what you want about Rolex, but at retail pricing, Rolex produces some of the best watches on the planet. And perhaps they won't resonate with everyone, but given the stranglehold on the industry at the moment and being the largest they have ever been, it's safe to say that many are down with what Rolex is putting down. In my opinion, there is no luxury watch that is as recognizable as a Rolex Submariner. It is an icon, it wears well on a variety of wrists, QC is as good as any mass market luxury good, the finishing on the case is exceptional, the bracelet is class leading, the movements I have always found to be extremely dependable, and the design is as timeless as you're going to come across. So is there honestly any bad? Well, in some ways, the biggest cons of this watch come from its own success. The Submariner is embedded to varying degrees within so many designs in our modern watch landscape, and for some, that can be exhausting, causing this watch to lose its charm in the process. In addition, we also of course know the hype associated with the brand, which I don't feel the need to get into any further, as I've had plenty of time to do that in the past and have done so. But what I want to close on with this is this point. Is the Rolex Submariner at retail prices one of the best watches you can buy? I think the answer is simply a resounding yes. However, I would argue that the Rolex Submariner in front of you now is not the same watch as it was years ago. It looks similar enough, it wears similar enough, but the core ethos behind the product has shifted to Rolex's current approach of being a leading luxury producer of watches. I don't necessarily think this is all good or bad, as consumers are ultimately needing to make up their own mind on where they stand on this reality. A reality that in turn doesn't change the fact that this watch belongs in the pantheon of luxury watchmaking.